And welcome back to Poughkeepsie, New York and Gartland Field on the campus of Marist University. It is the fourth game of the 2026 MAAC Softball Championship between third-seeded Iona and second-seeded Fairfield as we are underway. The first pitch thrown by Alyssa Weinberg is outside to Iona leadoff hitter Rachel Morales. It's Mike and Mike at the 3 o'clock hour. Mike Ferraro, Mike Duda. Mike, welcome.
The best name in all of America. Thanks for having me on, Mike.
Personally approved by us.
Yes.
The count is now 1-1 to Morales. Alyssa Weinberg, a power pitcher, one of the very best in this conference. Second team All-MAAC this year, first team All-MAAC last year. Rachel Morales, one of the top freshmen in the conference, swings and misses. The count is 1-2.
And Weinberg from the left side. That's pretty rare in softball, and it's such an advantage. Going from the left side, that's why she's topped the MAAC in so many important stats like ERA.
What's the big number that sticks out there? The strikeouts, 185 of them, as Morales gets a piece of that one to stay alive.
Yeah, led the conference by far. Nearly 30-plus strikeouts on the next closest MAAC pitcher.
And this Fairfield staff has been as lights out can get coming down the stretch. 4 consecutive shutouts heading into the MAAC championship. Here's Weinberg's 1-2, and that misses up and away.
Regardless of the competition, yeah, you could say they were playing St. Peter's their last series, but who cares? 3 shutouts is 3 shutouts.
And they had one before that against Ryder as well, so 22 1/3 coming into today. Here's the 2-2. That one misses upstairs.
Morales doing a really good job working the count early, tied for second in the MAAC with 18 walks this season, and she led her Iona team in OBP.
That's in the air, center field. Gwen McGonigal is there, one away in the top of the first.
Good job by Weinberg. Work through that full count, tough first batter, but she's able to work it through. Try and put as little and few stress pitches on you as possible. That's the key when you're on the bump, especially in a starting role.
So now that brings up the left fielder, Olivia Lichner, who has had a breakout senior year for these Gales. First pitch swinging right side. Kara Koshakian, the first baseman, makes the catch in foul territory for the second out.
That's a really nice play by Koshakian. Able to track it down, almost a basket catch down that first base line.
Tough because it's tailing away from you. Have to watch where the fence is as well. As we take a look at this Iona lineup, and it's been a productive one. The Gales at one point 7-8 in conference play. That was the record when they woke up Easter Sunday. They finished MAAC play at 18-10.
And who strikes me in that lineup is Haley Guerrero. She didn't have probably the season that she wanted, but she is such a tough out year in and year out. Down in the 6 hole for Andy Russo's squad. But it doesn't matter for Iona. They still bring the pop.
Upstairs to Pena. Sarah Pena, the MAAC Defensive Player of the Year, sophomore third baseman. Great reflexes, great arm. They're now up to the number 3 spot in this Iona order. That's lofted into right, but right to Silvestri for the third out. So a 1-2-3 top of the first. It's Iona 0. Fairfield coming to bat here from Gartland Field in the 2026 MAAC Softball Championship. You are looking at Allison Hoppy, who gets the call for Iona in the circle. Hoppy has served as the number 2 pitcher for Iona this season with Melissa Gordon heading the staff, but Hoppy was the Gales' number 1 last year, the transfer from Drexel in her second year at Iona. She's been productive, and she has some swing and miss stuff. So both of these teams have a couple of good pitching options. As you take a look at this Fairfield lineup, and there are a couple of freshmen in here who have done well, and seniors who have gotten hot coming down the stretch. But it starts with a freshman, Sarah Bielski, who she's been terrific.
She absolutely has. But this Fairfield lineup has not been their pride. Their pride has been their pitching staff. So personally, I'm expecting a low-scoring game here because Iona probably has the best 1-2 starting pitcher punch in the MAAC.
As that's a ball to Bielski. And I really think that Fairfield, with Weinberg and the way Peyton Shields has performed in MAAC play, you can make a very strong argument it's them as well. As that offering to Bielski catches the lower part of the zone for strike one. So both of these teams with multiple pitching options. Fairfield's first game, they roll with Weinberg as Hoppy's 1-1 misses in. So the game that was suspended yesterday, Melissa Gordon went all 5 innings yesterday and then finished with the 6th and the 7th today. So Andy Russo, the Iona head coach, going with Hoppy. That's a line drive, and it's wide of third.
And to go back to your point about not pitching Gordon and instead electing for Hoppy, I agree with that decision because Gordon had to pitch 5 yesterday, like you mentioned, another 2 today. She's probably available out of the bullpen, and it's tough for Iona. You have to play 2 games today. That's not necessarily what you would need if you continue to win, but due to weather constraints, it's a little different.
And it's Fisher who makes the catch. He took a step back but was able to corral it before it hit the ground for out number 1.
Yeah, that's a nice play defensively by Fisher. Not the defensive player of the year in the MAAC. That's her teammate that's standing on the left side of the field as well, but she could play defense too, and boy, does she have the celebrations.
So now it's S.J. Mull, and Andy Russo, as he's done against slap hitters, goes with the 5-person infield again. What they do in this alignment is Olivia Lichner comes in from left field to play closer to the shortstop position, as that one misses off the corner, and it is 2-0. So Fisher, the shortstop, she's the second one you see in that shot. Pena, the third baseman, then Fisher, then Lichner, and then Guerrero, not the pitcher, Addie Smith, the first baseman.
And you see this a lot in softball when you go with the 5-man infield, and I find it really interesting how it's always against a left-handed batter, seemingly, and it's just to force that push.
The slappers will come from the left side as the 2-1 misses away. What they also do with the outfield here is that you have a left fielder and a center fielder. Hannah Worth, the center fielder, is actually playing in left. And then you take the right fielder, Morales, and she's playing in center. So really, the 5th infielder comes at the expense of a right fielder, but Mull draws a walk. So first base runner of the contest goes to the Stags.
Now everyone's going to reset back to their normal positions. How about some Van Halen?
For Anna Paravati, she has been a solid contributor throughout her career for the Stags, sitting out of the number 3 hole, 86 career RBIs, holds it down at third base as well. First offering from Hoppy, change of speed, and it's a called strike. This Fairfield team, coached by Julie Brzezinski in her 29th year at Fairfield, and the Stags have an identity. They play good fundamental softball. More often than not, they get outstanding pitching as well. And that one is fouled at the plate, as Paravati might have fouled that off herself. Are they going to bop the ball over the yard? You know, probably not, although they do have some hitters in this lineup who can hurt you. But Fairfield, in MAAC play this season, number 1 in the conference in ERA, number 1 in fielding percentage, and that has been the identity of this Stags team. You do those 2 things well, you're going to be in it a lot more often than not, and that's the history of Fairfield under Julie Brzezinski. The 0-2 is fouled away.
And I think that's exemplified best by the strikeouts. Easily first in the MAAC in Ks on the pitching end, 257 entering play, which is extraordinarily impressive from this Stags rotation. As we mentioned, that 1-2 punch in Weinberg and Shields.
That one skied into left. Lichner is back at the wall. Let's go on. Anna Paravati goes deep. And the Stags take a 2-0 lead.
Only 19 home runs for Fairfield entering play on the season. You can make that 20 off the blast from Paravati.
Anna Paravati, let's get another look at this one. That is her first career home run as a senior, and what a time for it.
Impeccable timing. Welcome to the postseason once again for Anna Paravati, but she's bringing the blast this time, and I don't know about you, Mike, I feel like that carried.
Yeah, you know, you looked at it initially, and Lichner's going back to the wall thinking she has a play on it. It kept going, and it landed over the wall. We mentioned Paravati, just a solid career for the Stags. She's picked it up offensively throughout, and what a time. That one's lofted toward short, and Fisher makes the catch for the second out. So now, another productive freshman, Sammy Doherty. Doherty, the second baseman, hitting in the number 5 spot in the lineup, and she has done well with timely hitting this year. Part of what Fairfield does well, too, 2-out hitting, 2-out approaches, right? And she has about half of her RBIs this year in 2-out situations.
Yeah, and I think she does that best, like you mentioned, with the RBIs. Tied for 18th in the conference entering play with 28 on the season. That's just timely hitting to a T. Her OPS is just a hair over 750, so she's not necessarily getting on base a ton or hitting to a really high slugging percentage, but she's doing it at the clutch moments, which is what you need.
And again, that's the Fairfield story. 0-2 from Hoppy, cut on and miss, strike 3. And that will do it for Fairfield in the first, but not before the first collegiate blast from Anna Paravati deposited over the left field wall. And this shot gives Fairfield a 2-0 lead as we go to the second. And we're back here at Gartland Field, top of the second, with Fairfield, a 2-0 lead over Iona. The big blast by Anna Paravati putting Fairfield in front. 4, 5, and 6 in the Iona order due up top of the second. First baseman Addie Smith, shortstop Bree Fisher, second baseman Haley Guerrero. Alyssa Weinberg, she's been excellent lately, starts with ball 1. Addie Smith, first year in the Iona program, she was at St. Francis, PA last year. NCAA tournament participant there. St. Francis played Marist last year, and that was the Red Foxes' first win in an NCAA tournament game. Swung on, missed, count even at 1-1.
In Mercy Rule fashion as well, 8-0 down there at College Station. But Smith has had a really nice career, particularly last year in the NEC All-Tournament team, and was Rookie of the Week on 2 different occasions.
Count now 2-1. Smith had hit safely in 8 of 9 games entering this championship. She did not get a hit in the game against Siena, but she did walk twice.
She's got to get on base. Is that what Moneyball's all about or what?
Count now 3-1.
Mike, fill in the line. Why is she valuable?
Because she gets on base.
There you go.
Because she gets on base. Have to recreate the aggregate. Can't do it with one player. We'll be here all week. 3-1 is fouled away.
All right, Billy Bean.
And if you're a spectator there, just keep your eye out on that one. Iona and Fairfield did not meet in the regular season. The way the MAAC schedule goes, you'll play 8 teams 3 times for a 3-game series, 2 teams in a doubleheader, 2 teams not at all. Skied in that same general direction out of play. So Fairfield gets the number 2 seed. Iona really rose up through the standings in late April to come up to number 3. First time they've seen each other this year. And now the payoff pitch to Smith. Cut on and miss, strike 3. That's Weinberg's first strikeout of the afternoon.
Weinberg looking really good through her first 4 batters. Morales was a little bit of a difficult out, went to a deep count, but she got Lichner and Pena pretty quickly, and then Fan Smith. So 4 up, 4 down to start the day for Weinberg.
Alyssa Weinberg in MAAC play this year, 10-4 with a 1.84 ERA. The hitter is Fisher, and she takes ball 1.
Brianna Fisher, probably the best hitter on this Gales lineup, and you really almost can't even debate it. An OPS nearing 1 on the campaign, slugging nearly 600. She's got some pop.
But she shows bunt there, fielded by Koshakian, throw over to first, and she's retired. 3-4 is the freshman Doherty. Good job getting to the bag for out number 2.
That's fundamental softball, Mike. I absolutely love that. It was a good bunt down the first base line, but you saw the charge from the first baseman Koshakian, and then, of course, Doherty comes over to cover. Didn't even need the pitcher Weinberg, and that's what you're taught growing up. Obviously, the pitcher is supposed to cover, but you really don't want the pitcher to even be there.
And in softball, what you'll see even more is that the second baseman is going to have more first base responsibilities, especially on plays like that. Your third and your first are going to charge on the bunts a lot. Your second baseman will come to first a lot more often than you might think.
And that's a lot easier than baseball because the field is shorter, so it's a shorter distance to run from second to first or short to third, as opposed to the pitcher who's coming over to first base when you compare it to baseball.
And now Guerrero, the hitter, count 1-1 to her. Haley Guerrero homered against Siena. And Weinberg paints the corner.
Yeah, that was a good game, too. Of course, spanning 2 different days, but relatively low scoring. Guerrero was the one who sent the blast to really propel the Gales over the Saints, who just got eliminated in the last game at the mercy of Quinnipiac.
1-2, pop foul. These two teams, one you look at on paper, and again, never try to predict anything in this conference, especially softball. Just don't do it, right? But these two teams are the top 2 in the MAAC in fielding percentage. They're 2 in the top 4 in ERA in conference games as well. Count 1-2, and Weinberg misses upstairs. With the pitching and the defense you see on both sides, the thought is probably close, low-scoring game, but we already saw a blast from Paravati in the first.
Never predict softball, Mike.
2-2, runs full.
You said it yourself, never predict.
Although
but
it just
should be low scoring. Theoretically, right?
Everything's in theory until it happens.
In theory.
Here comes the payoff pitch to Haley Guerrero. That's skied into center, McGonigal. Another 1-2-3 inning for Alyssa Weinberg. Through 1.5, Fairfield 2, Iona 0. Here at the 2026 MAAC Softball Championship at Gartland Field. Martina Gutierrez will lead off the bottom of the second for Fairfield against Allison Hoppy. Stags leading by a count of 2-0. First offering is a called strike. So Gutierrez, she's been a revelation in this Fairfield lineup this year. She's always played a solid shortstop, but the power has come this season.
And to touch on that point earlier about power and the lack of home runs from Fairfield, she leads the team with 4. Again, this is a team that just hit their 20th home run. They don't use the long ball a lot, but when you want that long ball, you're going to look towards your number 6 hitter.
Count 2-1. Gutierrez had homered just once in her first 3 years at Fairfield. So the 4 there, a good show of pop for someone who was a strong defensive player too. But what Fairfield will do is they'll hit for average, they'll move runners, they bunt well. They're just fundamentally strong as that one is grounded foul wide of third. These two teams played in an elimination game last year. And again, you think Iona Fairfield, could be a close, low-scoring game, and, well, that one wasn't. As a matter of fact, it was the highest-scoring game of the championship last year. It was the last game played on Championship Thursday, a back-and-forth one that the Stags ended up pulling out. Here comes the 2-2 to Gutierrez, and that one's fouled straight back.
Once again, Mike, never predict softball. I've never talked to you about this. Are you a small ball guy or a big ball guy? Because I personally absolutely love this matchup. I'm a huge fan of pitching, small ball, bunting, the whole 9. I'm curious where you stand.
You need variety, and I know that that's the most non-answer answer you can get, right? Here's the 2-2. That's lined into left. Lichner coming on. Did she get that? Yes, she did. Olivia Lichner, hang a star on that one.
Look at the defense once again. You talked about it. These two teams have some of the best fielding percentages that the conference has to offer. And Lichner showing off why Iona is first in fielding percentage. Oh, what a play.
So Lichner lays out for the first out in the bottom of the second. That'll bring up the center fielder, Quinn McGonigal, who takes strike 1. So, Mike, I thought that there was a lot of excitement in these last 2 games that we've had. But you can also appreciate the well-played, well-pitched, well-defended game, as that's fouled straight back. Hoppy ahead in the count, 0-2, and that's what these two teams have been known for. But again, it's not just pitching and defense. They both have some pop, too. We saw Paravati with the blast. Iona, throughout this lineup, they have hitters who have excelled in conference play this year.
And that goes back to your point, variety.
Cut on and miss, strike 3. That's the second strikeout for Hoppy.
Yeah, she's looked really good so far today. Just a little bit of struggles back in that first inning, and it started with a leadoff walk, which you're always told growing up, avoid those walks at any cost. Nearly 80% of leadoff walks end up scoring that inning, and the first inning no exception, because besides that walk and the blast that Hoppy gave up, she's looking really good on the mound.
And that has also been the talk on the Fairfield side of it as well, that Weinberg, as the 0-1, is a called strike on the outer half. Weinberg, at times, has had some games where she's walked a few people, but then she's had a few where she just hasn't, and it's tough to hit her and string long innings together against her. When she limits the walks, she's almost impossible to hit. And through 2 innings, she's been dominant. So we'll see where the Stags go from here. A 2-0 lead already. And Weinberg's looking great in the circle. See if they can add to a 2-out, none on here in the second. Hoppy changes speeds, but the count's even at 2-2. And that's one thing that Hoppy does about as well as anybody, is she will change speeds. Doesn't matter what the count is. You have to be on your toes hitting against her. She'll keep you off balance. 2-2. That's low.
And I love the change of speed that she produces. She's a power arm. She's going to get you with the velocity on the fastball, but then she goes to her off-speed pitch. She goes to her changeup, and it's a great mix that will keep the hitters off balance. It's not all about powering someone by with a fastball. It's about how you can balance it.
Into left, and Lichner's not going to get that one.
Imagine if she did. That would have been really nice.
Kara Koshakian, the first baseman, awaits on deck if the Stags can keep this inning going. Payoff pitch. Let's do it again.
Another long battle. We saw this to begin the game with Beepski, and we'll see if we get another out produced by Hoppy, or if Silvestri is able to work her way on either via the walk, via base knock, and keep this inning alive.
Ball 4. Good at bat for Silvestri, who works the 2-out walk.
Well-deserved free pass. Wasn't much of a free pass. She really worked for that.
So now it's Koshakian, the first baseman, the hitter. And she's turned it on lately. Last 16 games coming down the stretch, she's driven in 15 runs. So, again, Fairfield getting some production, middle bottom of the order here to really round out this lineup. And they have gotten strong pitching a lot more often than not. They can score enough runs. They are going to be really dangerous, and they have certainly done that lately as they've gotten production from a number of different sources. Hoppy changes speeds. Late swing, count 0-2.
Just 10 RBIs through Koshakian's first 29 games. But as you mentioned, Mike, she's really turned it on at the right moment with 15 ribbies in her last 16 games. Got to be hot going into the playoffs. That's how you win a MAAC championship.
Here comes the 0-2. Upstairs.
You can hear the pop of the mitt from behind the plate. Hoppy's just got a hard fastball, which, to go back to our earlier point, pairs so well with a nice off-speed pitch or two, really throwing hitters off balance.
That's skied into left. Lichner dives. That's just out of her reach. And she is down right now as Fisher, the shortstop, running out to check on her, as is Hannah Worth, the center fielder. Hannah Worth going out there to retrieve the ball. Looks like Lichner is okay. Mike, I thought she had no chance at that off the bat, and she made that a lot closer than one would have thought.
And that just goes to her first step, going right towards the ball. It's a fundamental that you're taught as an outfielder, and she had the right route. I think it was less of she was shaken up. Possible that she was. I think it was more of just, oh, I was this close. I was an inch away from catching that ball.
1-2. In the infield, and it's going to be Pena who calls off the pitcher Hoppy to make the catch. So the MAAC Defensive Player of the Year puts it away for out number 3. And after 2, it's Fairfield 2, Iona 0. To the top of the 3rd we go, and for the play-by-play of innings 3, 4, and 5, Mike Duda.
Well, thank you, fellow Mike and Mike Ferraro. Here in the top of the 3rd, Fairfield 2, Iona nothing. 7-8-9 due up for the Gales. Starts with Brooke Acker, the senior catcher out of Jersey. Double righty against the left-handed Weinberg, takes outside for ball 1. That'll be followed up by Giovanna Donnarumma and Hannah Worth, 8 and 9. Morales at the top if anyone were to get on off Weinberg, who's gone 6 up, 6 down thus far. 1-0 offering upstairs, 2-0.
A lot of experience in this part of the Iona lineup. That Acker, a senior, the couple years before, Fisher and Guerrero, both seniors. Worth, a senior in the 9-hole. Lichner in the 2-hole.
2-0 also misses upstairs. 3 balls, no strikes. So you wonder if the take is in play here for Worth. I would assume so. But we'll see.
I'll make that unanimous.
Well, it was clear that one was right down Main Street. But Acker taking all the way. Still a hitter's count, though. 3 balls and 1 strike. Roped in the air, hard out to right field, but there is room at the top of the fence. Nice play by Silvesti for out number 1.
You know, Mike, you talk about carrying, and Paravati had the homer that carried there. I thought Acker had a chance of going oppo there, but great job by Silvestri. You saw her right hand literally up against the fence. She knew exactly how much room she had, and hey, that's her first game at this field in a while.
And you wonder if that ball would have gone out had her glove not been there. I think it might have just missed that yellow marker by about 2 feet. I think it would have been a little bit below it, but still some serious pop from Acker, who has homered 4 times on the campaign. Donnarumma now digs in and waves and misses at Weinberg's 1-0 offering. Donnarumma, a catcher and outfielder, sophomore out of Howard Beach, New York. 1-1 on its way. Popped foul. Might have caught a piece behind the plate of Armuth.
Right off the fist there, too.
I think I heard some form of contact on the catcher's equipment.
Right.
Hopefully it was the glove or a part of her chest protector.
And the Fairfield catcher is a story in and of herself, too, Ava Armuth.
1-2. Just a hair off the plate.
Delaney Wielden, who is one of the better players on this Fairfield team, she's been injured and she's been out. And Armuth had been an outfielder, and now she's behind the plate and she's catching predominantly every day.
She's got a chance here, but it goes too far behind and out of play, right behind us in our broadcast booth.
And that's where the Stags are at this point. That Armuth is basically handling the catching duties full time. Not much rest behind the plate there, but not showing any effects of it. She's willing to put on that gear.
Missed upstairs from Weinberg, and that's important that the catcher, even though she's somewhat out of position, not at where she grew up, at least for a Stags perspective, the catcher is such a vital defensive part. You talk about a pitching staff that's arguably the best in the MAAC. Well, the catcher is a huge part of that every single time. As the full count offering just off the plate, did she go? The answer is no. So that is the first base runner of the day for Iona. It's a well-deserved walk for Donnarumma.
Let's take another look. Oh, that was close, and Julie Brzezinski came out of the Fairfield dugout to check on that one. But Donnarumma, who drew a walk in the game against Siena, gets one here too, and she's the Gales' first base runner.
Wade Ireland, the first base umpire, that was his call. Michael Binder behind the plate. Bottom of the order for Iona, and starts off with a called strike to Worth. Double lefty senior outfielder from Virginia. Went 0 for 1 with a sacrifice against Siena in yesterday/early this morning's contest. 0-1, runner went for a second, but decided to stay. It's 1-1.
Rain delay measuring 21.5 hours.
That's quite the rain delay.
Including some darkness.
A full night. 1-1 on its way. Fouled back right at us. A ball and 2 strikes. Worth on the campaign has drawn the most walks out of any Gale with 25. An average just below 200 at 183. She's got a runner on in Donnarumma. And a 1-2 count on her from the left-handed Weinberg, fouled away once again.
And what Worth is a patient hitter hitting in the number 9 spot, too. She's drawn 25 walks this year, so even with the batting average under 200, the on-base percentage going well into the 300s.
Yeah, 358 OBP, which is well above her batting average, nearly 170 points higher. Missed outside and a tad high. She's also struck out at the plate 18 times, which goes to the narrative that she works counts. She's a deep hitter that will see every single pitch from that left-handed batter's box. Facing the left-handed pitcher in Weinberg, the 2-2. Wave and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout of the day for Weinberg. So the order will flip around. Morales digs in. Flew out to center in her first at-bat. Took Weinberg to a full count in that AB and skied it relatively far out to center field, but just not enough. It was the deepest part of the ballpark. Fouled away down the left field line, 0-1.
Rachel Morales in the regular season was tied for Iona's team lead in RBIs, and she has been on a tear in that realm lately.
Runner goes, the throw down. Not in time, and I don't even think Gutierrez had the ball in her mitt. I think she might have dropped it there at second as well, so an easy indication that Donnarumma is safe. Puts a runner in scoring position with 2 away. As you see the throw,
And she was in front of the bag, too.
Somewhat beat her, but a good slide by Donnarumma to get around it. Dancing off second again as a bit of a pitch out there makes it 2-1.
So now a runner in scoring position for Morales, who we mentioned, she's been on a tear RBI-wise. The Marist Red Foxes, they have next. But we're in the 3rd inning of this one, and Morales is trying to give her team a lift.
Off the plate, 3 balls and 1 strike. The Red Foxes will take on Sacred Heart. That'll be our next game and our final one for 5:30 right here on ESPN+. Mike Farrar, my broadcast partner, has it. Ryan Barada and William Rosen. Second walk of the inning issued by Weinberg puts 2 on with 2 away for Olivia Lichner.
And Olivia Lichner will have a conversation with her head coach, Andy Russo. And meanwhile, visit to the circle by Ava Fitzmaurice, who terrific player in this conference. She started her career at New Haven, transferred to Siena, 2-way player who could pitch very well and hit very well. And she's certainly lent her experience to this Fairfield staff. And she has a couple of really good pitchers that she's worked with this year. And Weinberg, for the 2nd straight year in All MAAC selection. Peyton Shields emerging this year as well. So trying to settle Weinberg down. She still hasn't allowed a hit yet, but 2 walks, and Lichner has been as hot of a hitter as the Gales have.
Best chance of the afternoon thus far for Iona. Weinberg already up to 50 pitches. In addition to those 2 walks, she's had some deep counts. Think back to the 3-2 flyout to begin the game for Morales. There's been a handful of full counts so far this afternoon. 2 on, 2 away for Lichner. Takes upstairs, 1-0.
And that's a lot of what Weinberg does, as you mentioned, Mike, right? If you're a power pitcher and you're going to strike people out, it's going to take you a few pitches to do it. It's really of no mind to her. She can manage that, but can she work around the 2 walks here?
Missed upstairs. She was efficient in her last outing. That was the last regular season game that Fairfield played. She pitched 3 innings and had just 46 on the docket, so averaging a little over 15 an inning, which is where you want to hover around as a pitcher. You want to be in that 15 to 17 pitch per inning range, as a 2-0 offering right down the middle clipped a piece of home plate umpire Michael Binder, so we'll stop play for a second.
So as a result, there will be a conversation in the circle that is just basically a let's take some time, as now Wade Ireland coming down to first base to check on Michael Binder.
You read my mind. That allows a free opportunity for the Stags to talk things over amongst an infield chat.
We have a few smiles going around this, so thankfully everybody looks like we're okay and ready to go.
So it'll be 2-1 to Lichner here in this 3rd inning that has offered some struggles for Weinberg. The 2 walks are the 2 base runners that are currently on. 2-1 misses just upstairs, and we've seen that a lot from Weinberg today. She's gone to the off-speed pitch, particularly that changeup up in the zone, which you don't want to do, but she's been toying with it. It's dangerous, but it's been working for her.
The Gales have been patient in this inning.
Set with a 3-1, Lichner waving all the way, and that'll wind up the count at full, so runners will be in motion with 2 away.
Well, Mike, a game can't end in the 3rd inning, but a moment in the 3rd inning could really tell the story of it.
Donnarumma with 3 stolen bases on the season. She's at second. She goes, and it's fouled away. It'll remain 3-2. Morales also with a handful of stolen bases on the campaign. That's 7, so some good speed on the base paths for the Gales. Runners will be in motion once again. Weinberg in a pressure situation. The next 3-2 with 2 away. Fouled away once again. Good at bat from Lichner, and that continues the narrative that we've seen all day, Mike. A lot of long counts, a lot of full counts at the mercy of Weinberg's arm.
A terrific battle between two of the best that the MAAC has to offer right here.
Weinberg to Lichner, full count, addition 3. We'll have a 4th.
Yeah, Mike, you like sequels? I mean, we have a few of them going on here.
I can't say I'm a big movie guy. I hate to disappoint.
Well, a lot of times they disappoint you, but this particular one has been interesting. Lichner, first team All-MAC selection this year.
We'll do it a 4th time. Roped towards second base, and it hung a little bit too high, so Doherty was able to make the grab, and that'll retire the side. No runs, no hits, 2 walks, 2 left on base as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. 2-0 Fairfield. Back at Gartland Fields here in Poughkeepsie, New York. Stags 2, Gales nothing. Fairfield to bat here in the home 3rd. It'll start with 1-2-3, Beepski, Mole, and of course the 2-run shot back in the 1st inning by Paravati, who will bat 3rd in the inning. Armuth, if anyone were to get on. Facing the right-hander and Hoppy, first pitch fouled down the first base line, 0-1.
Mike, didn't quite realize this at first, but had to think about it a little bit more and just looked at it. Paravati's homer is the only hit in this game.
That it is. We've seen some walks, 4 of them to be precise. That could be the 2nd hit, but nope. It hangs too long and right into the glove of Morales, who's had a nice day out there in right field, 1 away. So I'll bring up Mole. She walked in her first at-bat, 0 for 0. Came around to score on, of course, that aforementioned 2-run shot. The only hit so far through 2.5.
And again, with Mull being the lefty slapper, here comes the Iona defense with the 5 infielder look. So left to right, it's Pena, Fishner, that's Lichner, the left fielder, then Guerrero, and then Smith. Morales, the right fielder, is in center. Hannah Worth, the center fielder, is positioned more toward left field.
You read my mind.
So
there's
field
the defensive alignment
is open for business. And Andy Russo has used this against a good amount of lefty slappers. We got another look at that alignment.
And that's exactly what Hoppy's trying to do in the circle. She's pitching to the outer half so that she can produce a slap the other way, because if you go inside, there is a chance that Mole were to pull the ball, and there's no right fielder out there, which could be dangerous. Played right into the shift, fielded cleanly, and thrown over to first in time. 2 away.
And that was Fisher, the traditional shortstop, making that play. And I'll tell you, I got to see this alignment when Maris played at Iona Easter weekend, that Annabelle Geiser for Maris, the lefty slapper, hit a couple to Lichner, and there were a couple of 7-3 putouts at first base.
That's always something that's so fun to me personally. Love seeing the obscure things to put in your score sheet as Hoppy misses upstairs.
Joe Assanio at Maris has also used that alignment, and it resulted in a 9-3 putout with taking the right fielder Samantha Rogers and putting her where traditionally second base would be.
All defenders return to their normal positions. 2 balls and no strikes. Paravati, of course, the 2-run shot in her first at-bat, 1 for 1, the only hit so far today, and a beautiful off-speed pitch out of the hands of Hoppy, 2-1.
And after the final out of the 3rd inning, Mike Duda, you're going to throw it to the 3rd member of our team, J.J. Garcia. He's going to have the interviews, first with Julie Brzezinski.
roped up the middle. That'll fall for a base hit. So Paravati 2 for 2 on the day with the only 2 hits for both the Stags and Gales combined.
I was just going to say, Mike, she has 100% of the hits in today's game and 50 on her way to a cycle.
That's pretty impressive if you ask me. The triple away, of course, the most difficult of the 3. Fairfield as a whole led the MAAC with just 3 triples on the season.
And Caroline Barada and I talked about this during the Sacred Heart Quinnipiac game day where we did see a triple. Tough to do in this park, too. You pretty much have to hit it down the right field line.
Relatively smaller ballpark. Did that get in the hands of her? They are going to indicate dead ball. So Michael Binder, the home plate umpire, says that is indeed a hit by a pitch. Did not grab any of the bat. That's the first hit by a pitch of the game, paired with 4 walks from both sides combined, as we see it here on a replay. Quick talk from Julie Brzezinski, the 29th year head coach. As you see, 18th year head coach Joe Asanio's squad. We saw them earlier. There's Sacred Heart's crew walking behind the fence in the outfield, getting ready to take the first base side for our last and final game. Pam London's crew, who survived their first game against Quinnipiac. The Bobcats then went on to eliminate Siena in the most recent contest that we've seen. Mike, it's been a packed day, and I know you're here for all of it.
And coming up next, it's Marist against Sacred Hearts. The Red Foxes, last year it was the Wigs. I heard it was Scuba Day coming.
Okay.
I heard there's some other things in play potentially, too. Well,
you can see the beach ball. We got some pool noodles. There's the pool noodle. We saw that with Siena. Siena brought some pool noodles. That's Kaylee DeChickis with some goggles on. I believe that's some scuba gear from Annabelle Geyser, if I'm not mistaken. They got the pool floats.
I just love the shot with Hannah Worth standing in center field, just looking straight ahead, and absolute chaos roaming behind her. The Red Foxes are ready to go. They're going to have to face a Pioneers team, though, that has been so amazingly resilient. One of the best stories in this conference this year.
Chaos behind Worth and Hoppy, and some chaos in front of her with 2 on and 2 away, and now a 2-0 count to Doherty, who struck out in her first at-bat 0 for 1.
So again, this is where Doherty has been so good for Fairfield this year. The 2-out situations, the 2-out RBIs, and she has a chance at it now. That Hoppy started off this inning pretty strong, but then Paravati with the single, Armuth gets hit, and now Doherty has a chance to extend this lead, and you have to think, runs are at a premium when you have Weinberg out there. As Fairfield now has extended this streak. The Stags have not given up a run in 25 in a third innings. 4.5 games of softball now.
That's
3 of which got shortened by the mercy rule just because that they matched some good offense with that dominant pitching.
That's quite impressive. So they will look to continue their dominance in the circle in the next half inning. For now, it's a 2-1 offering on its way and hit high in the air. Third baseman Pena camps under it for the final out. So some trouble, 1 hit, a hit batsman, and a clean inning otherwise for Hoppy. And with that, we will send it over to the sidelines. Freshman phenom in the sports broadcasting industry here at Marist University, J.J. Garcia. He'll be on the sidelines to talk to Julie Brzezinski, the 29th year head coach. Going to be held up for a second. Brzezinski in a conversation at the moment with Michael Binder, the home plate umpire. And now Brzezinski makes her way over to J.J. Garcia, the freshman phenom. He's got Julie Brzezinski on the sideline.
Thanks, Mike. I'm here with Coach Julie Brzezinski. Coach, you guys started off on the right foot, a first inning home run and 7 batters retired straight. How do you keep that momentum going through these later stages?
Just trying to keep the ball down, and make some good defensive plays. I think, offensively, we just got to keep swinging at strikes and make them make mistakes, hopefully, and then keep just keep passing the batter.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. Back to you, Mike Square.
back at Gartland Field, right off the banks of the Hudson River here in Poughkeepsie, New York. Top 4, Fairfield 2, Iona nothing. And just 2 hits from both squads combined thus far. We've seen our fair share of free passes and hits Batman as well, as the first pitch from Weinberg misses just a hair inside. 1-0. Ideal opportunity for the maroon and gold. 3-4-5 due up. Starts with Pena, who's in the box right now and takes up and in again. Pena skied out to right in her first at-bat.
So, dangerous part of the lineup up here, right? And if anybody gets on base, Guerrero's looming.
2-0. Hit out towards right field once again. And closest to the ball was Koshakian, who could not corral it. 2-1.
Alyssa Weinberg this year, just some of the amazing strikeout numbers. 6 games with at least 10. Her high was 15 against Sacred Heart on April 12th. She struck out 28 in 14 innings that weekend.
A strikeout machine. She was good for 185, as we mentioned earlier, over the course of the regular season.
We've seen a number of pitchers in this conference succeed without high strikeout numbers because they generate movement, they generate weak contact, they pitch to contact.
As there's some contact in the first hit for Iona, and Pena's going to try and make it 2, grounded between short and third, and she's in there. A stand-up double for Sarah Pena, and that puts a runner in scoring position bright and early here in the 4th inning.
So here we go. We have 3 hits in this game, and this game is almost hit for the cycle now. Single, double, and homer.
We're close.
Pena just hit that one perfectly in the gap. And a good aggressive base running. She realized early she had a chance for 2. So now, you know, big part of the lineup and a big part of the game here for Iona. Can the Gales break through against Weinberg? Can anybody score against Fairfield the way they've been going?
Well, they break quite the streak, as Mike Ferraro indicated earlier. Dangerous part of the lineup for Iona. Smith in there now. Takes upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. She struck out in her first at-bat. It'll be Fisher and Guerrero after. Wonder if we'll see a meeting from either coach in that Fairfield dugout. 2-0 offering, waved and missed. Good comeback pitch for Weinberg, 2-1.
Over the last couple of innings, Weinberg has fallen behind a good number of hitters, but it hasn't cost her to this point.
Well, she's up to 67 pitches now on the afternoon, and we're only in the 4th, but a wave and a miss there, and that's that power arm that's working at its best.
There are a few pitchers in this conference who can just say, I'm going to just try and match you power on power here. And Weinberg, if she's not the head of the class, she's there with a couple of friends.
Fisher skied out to right field. Giving chase with room is Silvestri, and that'll advance the runner. So it's a 9 in the score sheet, but it advances Pena over to third, which produces a sac fly situation for Brianna Fisher.
And now you look at from the fundamental standpoint, can you get the runner home from third with less than 2 outs? And the Gales have 2 of their best options to do that right now in Fisher and Guerrero.
We'll see corners up. The middle of the infield is about even with the second base bag, maybe a step behind if anything. As Fisher pops this one up, this should not be deep enough unless it drops, and it does. It drops behind second base. Doherty couldn't field it cleanly, and that trickles into right field. This could be a 3-bagger, sliding in safely. Fisher, that'll possibly go down as a triple, could be an E4, but nonetheless, Iona on the board, and they are within striking distance in the blink of an eye.
Coming off the bat, you think it's going to be caught, right? But it was just placed perfectly. Doherty went out about as far as she could. Silvestri coming in. She couldn't quite get there in time. It landed between them. And Mike Duda, we just said this game is now hit for the cycle. We have 4 hits in this game, and we have a single, double, triple, and homer, as that is an RBI triple for Bree Fisher.
And not only do we have a cycle, Mike Ferraro, we have 4 hits in the game, and we have a cycle. How often do you see that? That was, of course, ruled a triple for Brianna Fisher. So she drives in the first Iona run on the day. Led the Gales in RBIs with 31. She can add number 32 to the docket now, as that'll bring in Haley Guerrero. And it's the same situation that we had with Fisher, a runner on third and one out, sac fly situation. Same alignment defensively for Fairfield, which possibly caused them trouble. And that one's roped into left field and falls for a base hit. Haley Guerrero drives in the run, and we are all knotted up.
Well, there you go. I mean, Pena starts it with a well-hit ball, right? A good tag to get to third on the fly ball by Smith. And the Fisher play, I mean, it was just one of those things that just happens, but that's good, solid contact by Guerrero. You get the sense that the Gales have a little bit of a better idea what to expect against Weinberg second time through. Remember, they didn't see her in the regular season.
Don't overlook that fly out from Smith that advanced Pena, and I'm glad you didn't, Mike, as that'll bring in Acker, who is 0 for 1 back in the third. That was to right. One-0 roped, not past the second baseman Doherty. She throws to second for the force and cannot get her. So that'll go down as an infield hit for Brooke Acker and puts 2 on with 1 away for Donnarumma.
Another example of good, solid contact, though, was now Julie Brzezinski. Mike, you alluded to this. At what point would there be a visit to the circle? And here comes Julie Brzezinski, and that is going to be it for Alyssa Weinberg. We mentioned the 1-2 punch, and here comes Peyton Shields with 1 out in the fourth.
That's exactly who I expected, and I would assume that you expected her as well to come out of the bullpen. Peyton Shields, a junior right-handed pitcher standing at 5'7", double righty out of Delaware.
And Peyton Shields has gotten better year after year at Fairfield. She'll be the number 1 for this team next year after Weinberg graduates, but she had terrific numbers in conference play this year. 8-2 ERA of 2.11, and she only gave up 2 home runs in 73 innings in conference play. You look at the overall numbers, and a little bit of a tougher start to the year. Again, you're playing tougher competition, you're going down south, but when March came and it was conference foes, Shields really upped her game. And with Fairfield, I mean, Weinberg is a true ace, but Shields is working her way into 1A category.
And that's why the overall stats can be misleading at times, as we see some action in the Fairfield bullpen. Delaney Moquin, a freshman double righty from Kingston, Massachusetts, gets rolling. She's going to head over to the bullpen to start warming up immediately after Shields comes into pitch.
So that Fairfield streak came to an end at 25 2/3 innings. And in a matter of just 5 hitters, Weinberg went from she hadn't given up a hit to Shields is in the game, as now it's a 2-2 game.
So that'll bring in Donnarumma, the 8-hitter. Worth to follow with 2 on and 1 away. First pitch from Shields, the right-hander, misses upstairs, 1-0. Donnarumma walked in her first at-bat, 0 for 0.
I'll say this about Peyton Shields, too. When she gets momentum, it could be something else. Like, she can literally throw all day for you. As a matter of fact, we have a couple of examples of that, too.
Well, Binder not helping her out there. She wanted the momentum off a close call, but it was ruled low by the home plate umpire. 2 balls, no strikes. Missed high upstairs, and you would assume it's a red light for Donnarumma. 3-0 with 2 on and just 1 away. Iona all of a sudden flipping a switch. The 3-0. Misses upstairs, ball 4. So Peyton Shields enters the game and gives up a 4-pitch walk immediately. That'll load the bases for the number 9 hitter, Hannah Worth.
Except we're going to have a pinch hitter here, Mike, that they're going to go to the bench, and it looks like that this is going to be Kennedy Gonzalez who's going to get the call here. Now, Kennedy Gonzalez has split time in the DP spot with Donnarumma. She's a graduate student. She's fought through a number of injuries in her career, but she hit her first home run of the season in the regular season finale for Iona against Manhattan. So she has some pop, and you can just imagine how that went. Someone who's fought through a lot, she's a grad student, and she hits her first home run of the season. You know, so well received on this team. And here she comes in a big spot here. 1 out, bases loaded in the 4th inning, and Andy Russo with the lineup card again. And now you wonder if you might have a pinch runner somewhere.
Donna Roma is still out there on first. Acker is still there on second. Guerrero is now at third, and we are going to see Acker be substituted. Katie Heisey comes in as the pinch runner, a 5'6" utility freshman from Linz, Pennsylvania. So Andy Russo pulling out all the big guns here as the first pitch clipped the inside part of the corner for Gonzalez. 0-1, 8 for 31 on the season, 5 walks, 2 hit by pitches, a double and a dinger. That's produced a OPS of 782. And she ropes that one foul. Really got a good piece of it, but just too early, 0-2.
I love that first pitch from Shields. No, just get me over first pitch after a 4-pitch walk. She painted a corner, and now she's ahead 0-2.
I agree, because when you throw a 4-pitch walk from a hitter standpoint, you're usually going to take that next AB on the first pitch. And taking there, Gonzalez, a close one, ruled outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Staggs infield remains relatively in. The corners are. The middle infield shaded back just about even with the bags. 1-2. Grounded to short. A play at the plate faked, and that'll go down as likely a fielder's choice and an E6 for Gutierrez. And that'll score Iona's 3rd run of the contest.
So there were a couple of parts of that play, right? Let's get another look. It's not hit very hard. Gutierrez comes up. She's thinking she wants to cut the run off at the plate because you're trying to keep the game tied. But she realized she wasn't going to be able to do that in time, and by the time she realized that, she didn't have a play anywhere. She looked toward third, wasn't happening there. So Hannah Worth will now re-enter at first base.
So Worth is going to come back in for Gonzalez. Of course, Gonzalez reaches on the fielder's choice. There was no error there, so it is an RBI for Kennedy Gonzalez that gave the Gales the lead, and they still have a prime opportunity to score. Top of the order flips around. It starts with Morales, Lichner to follow, and then Pena to come up if anyone gets on, and that'll be batting around.
Pena started all this.
Grounded to second, a chance to get out of it. Play at the plate, got her in time. Good decision by Doherty at second, who fired to Armuth in time. So that'll strand Heisey, who came in for Acker. And you would assume Acker is going to come back in on the re-entry. Donnarumma advances to third, Worth to second. It'll be a fielder's choice for Morales. She hangs off of first.
I'll tell you, Doherty had to be decisive there, and she was. She didn't have a lot of time to make that decision, but she did, and she made a good, accurate throw to Armuth.
That was after the fielder's choice did not go in favor of the defense off the bat of Gonzalez. That was when her fellow middle infielder, Gutierrez, made the questionable decision and double pump faked going home. And once you pump fake twice, especially in softball with the smaller base paths, you know you're done.
With a ball that was not hit very hard, right?
That's another factor, too. She had to come in and charge it. The 0-1. Misses low, a ball and a strike. So good scoring opportunity here for the Gales once more. Lichner, of course, in the batter's box. As we mentioned earlier, Moquin is up and throwing. Not much. She's just getting loose. 1-1 misses high and away. Shields has to be careful. Can't issue a walk. That'll bring in a run.
So Iona has 3 across already, but I think if you're the Gales, you're thinking, hey, we have a chance to break this open here.
Well, they broke the Fairfield streak, and that one's hit well out to left field. A chance for a grand salami, and there it is. Kiss it goodbye. Olivia Lichner with a grand slam to make it 7-2 Iona. They've opened up this one.
Mike, I think Iona just broke it open.
7 runs here in the 4th inning. all that, and we'll have the pleasure of hearing from Andy Russo, courtesy of J.J. Garcia, once this one ends, once we're done with the 3 outs in this inning.
What a year for Lichner. First team All-MAAC selection. She's having the best year of her career, and what a moment for her. She clears it, and Iona with a 7 spot in the 4th.
First pitch misses low and away to Sarah Pino, who kicked off this inning with a double. Then, of course, that was followed by Smith's flyout that advanced Pino to third. Then came the loose ball in shallow right field, in which Fisher was credited with a triple, and then the floodgates just opened up from there.
Alyssa Weinberg was pitching a no-hitter when Pena stepped into the box here at the top of the 4th. This game is now 7-2 Iona.
2-0 on Pena, the defensive player of the year, who ropes that one foul. And as you alluded to earlier, Mike, she can do it on both the offensive and defensive side of the baseball, or softball, I should say.
Yeah, well over 300. She's worked her way up into the number 3 spot in the lab. She had a good freshman year last year as a sophomore. She keeps ascending.
2-1. Misses low, 3 balls and a strike. Shields really struggling to get out of this one.
On a senior-laden Iona team, Pena part of the future for the Gales.
Pena in just her sophomore season. 3-1 on its way. Fouled away, it'll be full.
Mike, you look at this Iona team, and they played a lot of the tougher teams in this conference earlier in the season. Second half of the year, won 11 of their last 13 MAAC games.
This one's hit back up the middle. Doherty with a chance, and she botches it. We will have an 11th batter in this inning after the E4 from Doherty. Nothing going right for Fairfield, as that'll bring in Addie Smith, who flew out to right. One of just 2 outs in this inning, the only out to be produced off the bat so far this inning, when she flew out to right, but that was not an unproductive at-bat in any way. As we mentioned, that advanced Pena and then led to the RBI triple off the bat of Fisher. 1-0. Hit towards second, and we are finally out of this inning as Doherty is able to make the play, but not before Iona tacks on 7 runs. And with that, we will hear from head coach of the Iona Gales in his first full season at the helm, Andy Russo. And J.J. Garcia, you got quite the story to talk about. 7 for Iona in the inning.
Thanks, Mike. I'm here with Iona head coach Andy Russo. Coach, the bats coming alive is kind of an understatement. What are you going to do for your team to keep momentum on the rest of the game?
Yeah, I thought we had a good plan going in, and we just had to wait it out. And then we got a big hit from Liv. We also got a ball play by Kennedy with the bases loaded. We knew the offense would come around.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah,
Iona leading Fairfield 7-2 at the MAAC Softball Championships. We'll be right back here on ESPN+.
After 5 years of military service, Staff Sergeant Zaragoza is still setting goals.
Come on, Vincent.
But mostly for her son.
You got this.
She was ready for more family time. She was ready for the reserve.
For Iona after putting up a 7 spot in the top of the 4th on 5 hits, 1 error, and they left 1 on base. So now a deep hole to dig out of for the Stags. 6-7-8 due up, starts with Gutierrez and goes to McGongle after, followed by Silvestri. Gutierrez flew out to left in her first at-bat, 0 for 1, and takes the first pitch off-speed offering from Hoppy. Down the middle, 0-1, and Hoppy's got quite the lead to work with now, Mike.
Well, last year these two teams played late on a Thursday afternoon, and it was wild in a lot of ways. And this one is trying to say, oh, yeah, we can top this one. Just what a stunning top of the fourth for Iona. Weinberg was going as good as she could have gone. You get a couple hits here and there, then it starts to snowball. Can the Skags answer?
Skied in the air out to center. Worth camps underneath it. Quickly one away for Hop. So the book is closed on Weinberg. She went 3 1/3, 74 pitches, 4 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. 3 of those 7 runs in the frame charged to Shields as an attempt to get on via the bunt. Hit her in the box first. That being McGongle, who was 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in AB number 1 in the second.
Got to like the idea to try to get something going here. So, a little bit more about this Iona team, too. We talked about how well they played down the stretch. And you look at this team in general, and it's tough to spot weaknesses there. They have a little bit of everything.
Hit well in the air out to right center field. That one's got a chance and kiss it goodbye. Responding are the Stags. Quinn McGongle with a solo shot to cut the deficit to 4.
Well, Mike, this is why we talked about Iona breaking the game open in the top of the fourth, right? Because I think if there is one motto today that we could go by, it's never over at Gartland Field.
Never. Had Litcher not hit the grand slam and Fairfield were to get out of that inning with just 3 allowed, we would have a tie ball game right now. But because of Litchner's grand slam, we are at a much closer score, and it'll be even closer here off the bat of Silvestri. Kiss that one goodbye. Back-to-back on back-to-back pitches for the Stags. It's 7-4 Iona.
And this game now faster than it took Silvestri to round the bases.
Blink of an eye. We saw earlier with Fairfield. Then we saw it with Iona, and we see it with the Stags again. That'll force a pitching change. Melissa Gordon, who threw all 7 innings in Game 1 that spanned over 2 days, she's heading into the game with a 3-run lead. And you wonder if Andy Russo is trying to get the old 3-inning save out of Melissa Gordon.
Well, right now, Gordon is going to be in line for the win because Hoppy would have had to finish the 4th to do that, too. So, again, try to buy as many outs as possible. And Hoppy, 5-run lead into the 4th, but now, after back-to-back home runs, Andy Russo makes the move to get his number 1 pitcher, Gordon, MAAC All-Rookie team, 2nd team All-MAAC, and the conference's leader in ERA into this contest.
Book closed on Allison Hoppy. She went 3 1/3 on 63 pitches, also 4 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. So a nearly identical stat line to Weinberg, the only difference being that the Fairfield starting pitcher threw 11 more pitches. The difference on the scoreboard is 3. That Litchner home run more and more important as we move on in play.
Now, Mike, the wind has picked up here a little bit, and it's blowing out of the northwest. When the wind blows out of the northwest in Gartland Field, it is going out to left field, too. And it's funny because, the colder wind blows out, the warmer one blows in. But I'll tell you get a couple into the jet stream here. This game's 7-4 in the 4th now between two teams known for run prevention.
Especially if the ball is hit to left. You could expect it to fly, as it did off the bat of Silvestri. Missed load inside, 2 balls and no strikes to the number 9 hitter, Koshakian.
Mike, all the credit to the world for Silvestri and for McGonigal with the back-to-back. When that ball came off Silvestri's bat, I wasn't sure that was going.
Just a hair upstairs, 3-0. I know you might disagree with this, but I thought that was a clear no-doubter for Silvestri. I thought the one by McGonigal was a little bit closer, but I thought personally Silvestri's was an easy one. 4-pitch walk after entering the game for Melissa Gordon. So that'll bring up Beepski with Mull on deck, the tying run.
As we said in the top of the inning, how quickly things can change.
All of a sudden. A little bit more on Melissa Gordon, freshman right-handed pitcher standing 5'6" out of Levittown, New York. That's on Long Island. Pitched all 7 innings for game 1. That was against Siena, spanning over 2 days. Pitched 5 innings yesterday. Then after that nearly 22-hour delay, threw another 2 innings. Faced 8 batters after the game resumed. So this is already her 10th batter that she's faced today after facing a handful yesterday, that being 24. The beauty of softball, you can pitch multiple days in a row. Pitch count relatively irrelevant as long as you have the stamina to keep going. But it'll be a test to see how much stamina Gordon does indeed have. No indication of movement in the bullpen. Mo Quinn walking behind our broadcast booth earlier for the 2nd time. She's back out there throwing for the Stags. Grounded to short, a chance for 2. Fisher gets the force, not in time for the double play, but that's a big out for Melissa Gordon.
Getting out number 2, and now that'll bring Mull into the box, which will also bring Olivia Lichner into the infield.
So the shift for the slap hitter Mull brings, as we've mentioned, 5 infielders, 3 on the left side, 2 on the right, a left fielder and a center fielder. Called strike on the up and away corner, 0-1. So left to right defensively on the infield is Pena, Fisher, and Lichner. Guerrero and Smith on the right side of the infield. Worth shifts over to left field, and Morales shades over to center. The 0-1 also clips the outside half, so Gordon really pounding the outer half of the zone, and it's working against the slap hitter Mull. Looking to get out of the frame with 1 on and 2 away. The 0-2 offering. Just a hair, I would say, up, if anything. That looked the same distance on the plate as the previous 2 pitches. Might have missed a little bit high from Gordon, but nonetheless, a real competitive 0-2 pitch. 1-2, fouled away, so Mull staying in the at-bat.
If Mull can extend this inning, Paravati, who homered in the first, comes up as the tying run potentially.
Was already halfway there to the cycle. Another slap attempt from Mull. She's pounding the left side of the field. That's, of course, why Iona has the shift that they do. And that's why Gordon is trying to work the outer half. We've seen an onslaught of runs this 4th inning. 9 to be exact. 7 for the Gales, 2 for the Stags. Trying to tack on more as Mull grounds this one right back to the mound. And that'll do it for a very intense 4th inning. Another 2 runs tacked on off back-to-back home runs for the Stags. Cuts into the deficit. It's 7-4 as we head to the 5th at Gartland Field. What makes you beautiful? And some dancing for the Iona Gales. 7 runs in the 4th inning. combated by 2 for the Stags. Pair that with their 2 in the first inning to get our current score of 7-4. Mike Ferraro with you here at Gartland Athletic Field. It was back-to-back dingers in the last half inning. Started with a blast to right center field off the bat of McGongle. And then Silvestri backed that up with a blast of her own, a no-doubter into left field. So that's how we've arrived at the 7-4 score. Peyton Shields still on the mound and roped into right center field. That'll fall for a base hit, but a long base knock off the bat of Paravetti. So she's 3 for 3 on the day.
She hit it too hard.
Yeah.
She hit so hard off the wall, she didn't even have a chance to get to second. So Fisher came into this championship really hitting the ball well, and that's continued. And now Guerrero, who's just done so much damage here in this championship.
Good correction on my part. Of course, Fisher the batter there to kick off this 5th inning. 11 batters for the Gales in the 4th. Looking to tack on some more runs, compile some more hits together. 1-1 the count. Slapped in the air, same spot out in right center field. This one might fall for extra bases. Flying around second and having to be held up by her third base coach in Andy Russo is Fisher off the bat of a 2-bagger for Haley Guerrero.
The relay throw got wild, but there was really nowhere for the runners to go because the ball was bouncing right in front of the dugout. And at that point, Fisher, wise move to stop it there. But how about Guerrero just finding a gap again?
Good
It
job.
was right around this part of the lineup, Mike, that I thought that momentum shifted in this game in the 4th inning, right? That you had the leadoff double by Pena, good at bat by Smith, moving her over to third, right? But it was the ball that Fisher hit. Second baseman going out, right fielder coming in, lands between him, skirts away, she gets a triple. At that point, you get the sense something a little bit different is going on this game. Is behind us, Alyssa Weinberg is going back down to the bullpen, and where things are going right now, I would not be surprised to see a re-entry at some point here.
Neither would I. We'll see if they end up going to Weinberg or the freshman Mo Quinn. Mo Quinn, of course, threw twice earlier, but now it's the starting pitcher who gets some more work in the bullpen. Re-entry, of course, a part of softball, so Weinberg can come back into the game, and that book might not be closed after all.
It might just be put on the shelf for the time being.
So Acker digs back in, 1 for 2 today, a base hit back in that onslaught of the 4th inning. Also skied out to right in her first AB in the 3rd. And Mike, remember through the first 3 innings, Iona didn't even have a hit, as there's another one off the bat of Acker that could score 2. Held up at 3rd is Guerrero, but Fisher comes in to score off the RBI base knock from Brooke Acker.
They're just barreling everything right now.
And
it doesn't matter who's the pitcher. It's just quality at bats, quality contact. The Gales are rolling.
Just right between short and third. So that brings in Donnarumma. Followed up by Worth, and then you're back to the top of the order once again. Low and inside from Shields. 1 ball, no strikes.
But you look, we mentioned it last inning, right, Mike? You look up and down the Iona, multiple pitchers, right? They do such a great job catching the ball. Senior-laden team. There's a lot to like here.
This Iona team had a low-scoring game in their first MAAC championship contest. That was, of course, the game that spanned 2 days. It was a 3-1 final over the Saints, and now the Bats have opened up in an 8-4 advantage over the Stags. Just upstairs from Shields. Fairfield dugout does not like that one. Julie Brzezinski down the third base line just puts her hands in front of her like, are you kidding me? 3-0 offering to avoid loading the bases, and that's exactly what transpires. So now Worth, the 9-hitter, will have 3 ducks on the pond.
Mike, how about this for Donnarumma? 3 plate appearances, 3 walks today.
That's efficient for the OBP.
Yes, it is.
Billy Bean would love it. patiently awaiting a potential visit from Julie Brzezinski. She had Mo Quinn throwing earlier. I didn't see Mo Quinn come back around to head to the dugout, but I don't see her out there in the bullpen. Definitively, Weinberg is warming up. So you wonder who the Stags will go to if they elect for a pitching change at all. 1-0 misses upstairs, and Shields really losing her control. That's 6 straight balls.
And you know that Hannah Worth will not bail out a pitcher who's struggling to throw strikes.
First pitch for a strike of the AB. Worth tied for 7th in walks in the MAAC. So going right to your point, Mike, she is going to make Shields really work for it.
Had a feeling she was going to take a strike at some point in this at-bat.
That almost was guaranteed to be on the table, but she's swinging here and pops this one into shallow right field. That'll fall for a base hit. Could score 2. Easily into score is Guerrero. Acker held up at third. It's another RBI base knock, this time off the bat of Hannah Worth, and it's 9-4 Gales.
Hit them where they ain't, right?
Precisely.
Popped it right into the triangle in right center field. An RBI for Hannah Worth in the first 5 Gales have reached here in the 5th.
And that'll bring out Julie Brzezinski, and that'll bring in Mo Quinn. So we've located where she is. She was in the dugout this whole time, just awaiting for her number 14 to be called. Let's meet Delaney Mo Quinn, a double-righty freshman out of Kingston, Massachusetts. 14 appearances, totaling 26 2/3 innings, owning a 6.56 ERA and 2.10 WHIP on the 2026 regular season campaign. And Mike, she'll be faced with a really tall task. The mercy rule looming, of course, 8 after 5, but it's a bases loaded, no out jam for the freshman.
And now you're turning it over to the top of this order too. Morales, Lichner hit a grand slam in her last at bat. Pena, I mean, here you go. The Gales, the last 2 innings, this has just been incredible what they brought to the table here.
I've noticed you work in red pen. I'm working in blue pen on our score sheets, and the 4th and 5th inning for both of us are just fully blue and red, respectively. So many batters have scored. That's, of course, that 9 spot that you see on the scoreboard, all a product of the past 2 innings, and Iona is not done yet.
So Mo Quinn is making her 15th appearance of the season, 10th time coming on in relief. She has struck out 18 in 26 2/3 innings, 2-2 record, 6.56 ERA.
But 13 walks.
13 walks as well. And for the most part in MAAC play this year, that Mo Quinn saw some action last weekend against St. Peter's.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Mo Quinn, the freshman, in quite the jam. First pitch taken a bit upstairs, and Michael Binder's zone seems to have just been shrinking as we've continued play.
And the Gales hitters recognize that, right?
That's
you have
good
a lot of patient veteran hitters on this team.
They've been around the sport long enough to know you got to play to the umpire's tendencies. The 1-0 called on the outside half, and that's the one location that Binder's been a little lenient towards the pitchers on. That's been his spot that he's really calling the strikes. So Fairfield likely on the pitching staff will just continue to hound the outside. Grace Conrad now comes out of the dugout to get loose in the Fairfield bullpen. And another outside half strike for Mo Quinn.
It's somewhat stunning just how quickly and suddenly this game has turned.
We were flying through 3 innings.
And we didn't even talk about the fact that that was going on either, which is usually the kiss of you-know-what, but...
No, I think it was, even though we didn't say it. We didn't even jinx it this time, Mike. 1-2 on its way, misses outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Morales 0 for 2 today. Reached on the fielder's choice and later scored in the last frame, walked in the 3rd, and flew out to center in the 1st. And that really started this tendency for Iona batters to just take these Stag pitchers into deep counts. That was a full count in which Morales flied out to center. She's seen a lot of pitches, as has 1 through 9 for the Maroon and Gold.
And Morales just such an impressive freshman, too, that we've talked a lot about the veteran players on this team. How about Morales, though, as a freshman? Pena is a sophomore. Gordon in the circle as a freshman.
2-2 on its way. Rope back up the middle, and that hits her in the chest. That'll be a fielder's choice. Tagged out at third, trying to advance is Donnarumma. So it'll go down as an RBI fielder's choice for Morales. Acker comes around to score. Donnarumma is called out at third. Worth advanced to second. And now a checkup on the pitcher, Mo Quinn. You saw she tried to get her glove there, and it hit her directly in the chest. You really hope that she's wearing a heart guard. Which it appears that she is, because she is looking fine right now. She looks to be okay, which we're, of course, very thankful for and happy to hear.
They will have her take a couple of warm-up tosses.
Rightfully so. So with the RBI fielder's choice, it is now 10-4 Iona. Recall the mercy rule is 8 runs after 5. So hanging out there on second base right now is Worth. If Worth is to come around and score and Fairfield does not tack on any extra runs in the home fifth or some configuration of that 8+ advantage for the Gales, we are going home early.
And there is one game looming after this, Sacred Heart and Marist.
And you want to start that as close to 5:30 as possible. No lights here at Gartland Field, so the earlier you can start that last game, the better, in order to get a full 5 finals in on technically day 1, really day 2 of this MAAC championship. Lichner, the batter, she had a 3-run blast in her last AB. Or excuse me, that was a grand slam that gave Iona a 7-3 lead. And they have really just worked their way from there.
It's really stunning how back and forth this championship has gone over the last 3 years here at Gartland Field. Third straight year that we've hosted it here at Marist.
2-0 with 2 on and 1 away. Grounded foul, hitter in the box.
2024 really favored the hitters. A lot of explosive games offensively. Last year, more shutouts than any year in MAAC championship history. And then just hitter's paradise today.
How's that for Paralos? Worth on second. Morales on first. 1 away. The 2-1. Bunt attempt and went foul. Fairfield was not ready defensively for the bunt. Crashing late was Koshekian, and that probably would have been an infield hit had it been fair.
Well, I mean, if you're Lichner, you're thinking, okay, I just hit a grand slam my last time up. If there's any time I'm going to catch him by surprise, there you go.
You're not going to expect it. You're coming off the best possible hit that you can get in softball. 2-2 with 2 on. Skied in the air out to left. Coming in originally is Mole. She'll back up at the warning track with room to record the second out. Loud out off the bat of Olivia Lichner. So that'll bring in Pena, who had 2 at-bats in the 4th inning, doubled and then reached on a Doherty error. Pena started the rally for Iona in the last inning, the first to reach base in what would be 10 runs, using just 5 outs to accomplish the feat. Fouled away down the first base line. Important situation for Shields, as we've mentioned. If she can get out of this without any more damage, Fairfield will not be at the mercy rule effect here in the top of the 5th. They would not have to be forced to put on some runs in the home 5th. As upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike.
There's just such great length in this Iona lineup, too, right? That you have Pena and Smith, a couple of younger players at 3-4, Fisher and Guerrero with the experience at 5-6, and the bottom of this lineup will work counts on you.
Hit out to right field. Under it, Silvestri, and she makes the grab. But not before Iona tacks on 3 more runs off 4 hits and a walk. We head to the home 5th. Fairfield in need of a rally. Home 5th at Gartland Field. Iona 10, Fairfield 4. It was more runs for Iona. Haley Guerrero had a 2-bagger. That was followed up by a weak base hit from Acker that ended up scoring Fisher. And then some more runs later on. Donnarumma involved in the party. Same with Worth. A fielder's choice off the bat of Morales. And that's how the Gales have tacked on an extra 3 for Melissa Gordon, who takes a 6-run advantage into the home 5th. Recall the mercy rule is 8 after 5. So Fairfield not on the verge quite yet.
Paravati started all of this craziness in the first inning.
Yeah, do you remember that 2-run homer? Feels like ages ago.
How many times have we just said that today? I mean, we have had an amazing day of softball here at Gartland Field. Just plot twists, turns, games that have changed on a dime. Gales look really tough right now, though.
Paravati is 2 for 2. If there's anyone you want at the plate to start a rally, it's definitely her.
Oh, for sure. The senior, she's had a terrific career here at Fairfield, and then to be able to have that hit in the first inning that she did, her first career homer, she's got a hot bat right now.
2-1 on its way from Gordon, misses upstairs. Now a hitter's count at 3 balls and 1 strike. And if you're Melissa Gordon, the one thing you cannot do is walk batters right now. If you give up contact, so be it.
No, and that's what she's done so well this year. Now, she hasn't posted huge strikeout numbers, but it's pitched to not hard contact.
3-1 right down the middle, and I don't really know where Paravati wanted that one, but she didn't want it at that particular location. So it'll be 3-2, and that's what you're taught as a hitter in a 3-1 count. Only your pitch is what you're swinging at. If you don't love it, you're not swinging. Now she's got to protect with 2 strikes on her and missed upstairs from Gordon. So Paravati continues her perfect day. 3 plate appearances and 3 times that she's reached base.
So now it's Ava Armuth, who, as we've talked about, has inherited the Fairfield catching duties. We will have a pinch runner at first base. Darby Weller. Armuth was hit by a pitcher last time up, Mike. The one that just grazed her, but it worked.
Once again, another example of that was so long ago. That was back in the 4th inning, which was just last frame. Missed upstairs, 1 ball, no strike.
Enjoy all the home run calls and all the big plays for the next demo reel.
Sounds good to me. Iona and Fairfield looking out for the broadcasters. They like the reels. Grounded to short. Real tough play, firing over wide, and that's going to be a throwing error for Fisher. That advances both runners. Held up at third is Weller. And so that'll probably go down as an infield hit and an E6 that advanced Armuth to second and Willer to third.
And here comes Julie Brzezinski again. And this time looks like a pinch hitter.
So Doherty likely not to take her cuts here, and that is indeed the case.
Olivia Macaluso, number 23 for the Stags, will be the pinch hitter here.
Macaluso, a 212 average, 316 OBP, 364 slug. Good for a 680 OPS in 33 at-bats on the regular season. With 2 on and nobody away, fouls off the first pitch. Oh, 1 to Macaluso. Grounded foul down the third base line. That throwing error by Fisher, the first Iona error of the contest. Fairfield has matched with one of their own.
Fisher probably would have been better served just to put that one in her pocket at that point.
It was a tough play. She was on the backhand. She was backed up to shallow left field. I agree with you. And there really wasn't even a play at first base.
She was really trying to make a spectacular player, and you respect the effort, certainly. But what it turned out was both runners get an extra base. But Gale's still with the 6-run lead, but can they shut it down?
Strike 3. Caught looking Macaluso. That's the first strikeout of the afternoon, or of this game, I should say, for Melissa Gordon. Remember, she pitched earlier this morning, oh so long ago. Out number 1 of the inning.
So it's funny. We've talked about that Gordon really isn't a strikeout pitcher. Now, she didn't strike out any in the Wednesday portion of the Siena game, but she got 2 big ones in the 6th inning when her team really needed it. And now, 2 runners get on, and the Stags getting some momentum and gets a big one for the first out. Now, we've talked about this. Gutierrez, she's walked into some power this year.
For a team that's only hit 20 over the fence, she's responsible for 20% of them at 4. Grounded foul, 0-2.
She had won her first 3 seasons as a Stag. Always played a good shortstop, but now 4 this year. So you got some pop here in the number 6 part of the lineup. And then your next 2 hitters are McGonigal and Silvestri, who are the ones who hit the back-to-back home runs.
Good chance for Fairfield. That's why that throwing error could end up being clutch in favor of Fairfield, because it would have been first and second had Fisher just held that in her pocket. But instead, she elected to throw, and that advanced the runners to second and third. You wouldn't care if this was the bottom of the 7th, but this being the bottom of the 5th, 2 runs in this inning could end up being costly down the stretch for Iona. Let's see if they can get out of it. 0-2 offering misses just low. Really nice off-speed pitch from Gordon.
Yeah, I like that on 0-2.
1-2 to Gutierrez. Fouled off once again. No chance down the first base line for Smith. Two on, 1 away. It's Weller off of third, Macaluso off of second. Or pardon me, that is Armuth.
And Paravati with the leadoff walk, then Armuth the single plus the E6. Gordon with a big strikeout. Can she get another?
Just upstairs. It'll run full with ducks on the pond. Pivotal AB here for the Stags.
She tried that changeup again, and she didn't miss by much.
We've seen that a lot today. Changeups on the upper part of the zone, even though you're really taught to avoid those. Nonetheless, both squads taking their risks. Grounded to short. Redemption for Fisher. Fires over to first in time, but it is an RBI to make it a 10-5 Iona lead.
If you're the Gales there, you'll trade that run for an out.
I agree. Weller comes around to score. Armuth advances to third. So now 2 away and 1 on for McGonigal, who had the solo shot in her last at-bat. And, of course, Silvestri followed that up with a dinger on the very next pitch. Hit once again to Fisher. Chance for back-to-back, and she does to escape the jam. So Iona only yields 1 in the frame. We head to the 6th, 10-5 Gales here on ESPN+. Back at Gartland Field in the top of the 6th, Mike Ferraro with you on play-by-play commentary for the rest of this one, and quite the slugfest.
Mike, thank you very much. Great job in the middle innings there, and eventful 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
I was going to say, I feel bad for you. 15 total runs, and I got 13 of them. You only had 2.
Did you see the Sacred Heart Quinnipiac game earlier today?
Can't say I was. Unfortunately, I was in class. Got to be a good student, too, you know?
Yes, you do. You do. You do. And you do a great job with that, too.
Well, thank you, Mike.
To the top of the 6th we go. 4, 5, and 6 for Iona. Here's Addie Smith. She hasn't joined the hit party yet today. Takes ball 1. Then it's Fisher, and then it's Guerrero. Iona 10 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. Fairfield 5 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. 2 versus 3 game in the MAAC championship. Called strike. The winner is on to the winner's bracket final, which will be Game 7 of the championship. It will be the winner of this one against the Sacred Heart Marist winner coming up next.
We don't quite know when that game will be yet because there's still one that's looming. Game 8, or excuse me, that's Game 6 that's still undecided from the MAAC of what time we will officially be playing that.
Here comes the 2-1. Ground ball. Gutierrez on the backhand, throw to first, and that's scooped there by Koshakian. What a play on both ends. First Gutierrez with the backhand stab, and that's out number 1. A good play to start the top of the 6th for Fairfield.
And that's what you want from your shortstop first base battery. The backhand, the athleticism from Guitar, of course, Koshakian. Athletic shag, fields it off the 1 bounce too. That's a great scoop, but instead to eat the ball up with her body.
Gutierrez didn't have a lot of time there either.
No, she did not. Forced on the backhand.
Bree Fisher is 2 for 2 in this game officially. She had a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd inning. Oh, no, excuse me. That was not a sacrifice. That was a bunt ground. She's 2 for 3 in this one. That's a drive, but it's well foul.
Oh, that one. You can see the Marist players out there in left field. They just had to look at that one. Hey, Coach Joe. He's back to his playing days.
Of course. There's Baxter.
Well,
he's got no Sacred Heart.
He's got no first baseman to throw it to now. What's he going to do?
The 0-2, foul back. And really, we mentioned this a couple of times, right, Mike? It was that triple, the bloop triple, essentially, by Fisher, that maybe as much as any at-bat in this game changed the momentum in the 4th inning.
You read my mind. That opened up the door. And remember, it wasn't a triple that reached the gap or anything like that. It was a ball that barely flared over second base.
The 0-2, fouled away.
And part of that was because of the shifts that were being played by the Stags defense, which allowed for a speedy Fisher to round her way to third.
So now the other part of this equation, whoever loses this game will face Quinnipiac in Game 6 of the championship. And that hit her. Fisher hit on the 0-2 offering, so she'll reach with one away, and here comes Haley Guerrero.
Guerrero also 2 for 3 on the contest. RBI-based knock back in the fourth, and had a two-bagger last AB, and you can tell that gets her on the front shin area. Trots it out easily.
The chant of Haley G from the dugout, and she fouls that one away.
Get off my bat ball. I like it. It's creative.
Here comes the 0-1. That one is skied behind the plate. Koshakian coming in. She makes the catch for the second out.
That's a
down
nice
from first.
play. Nice play at first by Koshakian. You saw a tough read from Armuth behind the plate. She couldn't find the ball, didn't even take the mask off, but instead let the first baseman take charge. 3 over 2 on the priorities.
Well said, Mike. Is you see at that point, it's closer to where Armuth is, but it's just tracked so well there. So 2 outs in this inning, and Koshakian did a good job. 2 different subtleties of playing first base on both of them. That's skied into right field. Silvestri back. She makes the catch for the third out. So Moquin gets out of the top of the 6th unscathed, and after 5.5, it is 10-5 Iona. And welcome back to Gartland Field. Bottom of the 6th, Iona leading Fairfield 10-5. If you would asked me about an hour and a half ago, do you think this game will end up with this many runs? No, I don't think that would have been part of the equation. Anna Paravati hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first. This was a 2-0 game through 3 innings, and Iona didn't have a hit. They went from not having a hit to scoring 7 in the 4th and 3 in the 5th. But the Stags, couple more home runs in the 4th inning, going back-to-back, another in the 5th. It's a 10-5 game, so Fairfield has to be thinking, hey, we have a shot this one. There have been plenty of runs scored at Gartland Field all day today.
Still doable. Doesn't matter if you played your tendencies or not. A win is a win, especially in the MAAC tournament where you only have 1 loss to deal with.
Fairfield has 3 home runs in this game. The last one was hit by Danica Silvestri, who's the hitter here, and she's ahead in the count, 2-0.
That was on back-to-back pitches after McGonigal went deep. Back-to-back solo blasts responsible for the lone 2 runs that the bottom of the 4th had to offer.
2-0. 3-0.
Got to give a lot of credit to Melissa Gordon, who came on in a tough situation, but has done her job so far.
Called strike. Koshakian, who had those couple of good defensive plays and has been swinging a hot bat, up next. And then you go back to the top of the Fairfield lineup and Bielski, who's been a revelation as a freshman. 3-1, ball 4. So for the second straight inning, Gordon walks the leadoff batter. Again, the Stags down 5. You're not going to make it up right away, but every person has to do her own part here.
And remember that nearly 80% of leadoff walks end up coming around to score. Paravati not the exception in the home fifth. And a leadoff walk here from Gordon could be trouble.
Right side out of play.
Regardless of the walks, Gordon has had a nice stat line so far. Came in a tough situation when a lead that was at 5 and seemed in control from Iona quickly whittled its way down to 3. Gordon came on to relieve Hoppy and has pitched 1 2/3 of unearned run softball. She has issued a run, but that, of course, was unearned off the lone Gale error.
That's lofted into center, and it gets down for a base hit. Guerrero went out about as far as she could. It landed in front of Worth, and now the first 2 Stags have reached in the bottom of the 6th.
Say what you want about the defense, but the fact that that was even close from Haley Guerrero is a testament to how good this Iona defense is. That was not an easy play whatsoever. And the fact that she made it close within half a step is uber impressive.
Just a few long strides, stuck the glove up, almost had that. Bielski takes strike 1. She's 0 for 3 today, a couple of lineouts and reached on a fielder's choice.
Show some umpire love here. I love Michael Binder's strike call. It's authoritative.
It's clear. It's distinctive. But you don't get to hear it on that one, as again, Gordon trying to change the pace, and it's 1-1.
Once again, high pressure pitches from Gordon, the freshman.
Called strike. Got to hear that one.
Loud and clear.
First 2 Stags have reached in the bottom of the 6th. Gordon came in the 4th inning of this one after the back-to-back home runs, as that is fouled away. So now she is going through this Fairfield lineup for the 2nd time. Remember, these teams did not play each other in the regular season.
First matchup, and it's been a real beauty. American League style baseball, a high-scoring one, but nonetheless a good contest.
Check swing, and it's fouled back. Well, Mike, let's go back to the top of the broadcast when you were asking me about, well, what kind of games do you prefer? And we're talking about variety, and I thought that this one was shaping up to be a pitcher's duel. But, again, the caveat, the asterisk, whatever you want to say, you can't predict it. You can't predict softball. You really can't predict MAAC softball. What a day this has been. Another one just check swing, and it hit the bat.
It's been a really good at-bat from Biepski, of course, the leadoff hitter. 0 for 3 today, but is putting in a great at-bat, making Gordon really work for her money, especially with ducks on the pond in a game that is far from over.
Ball 2.
Mike, you talked about how you like variety. Given the day so far, what do you want in the Marist Sacred Heart game? Obviously, we got a slugfest here. You want a pitcher's duel in Game 5 of the day?
I want to get in before darkness, honestly.
Okay.
I think that would be the best thing for this championship at this point. That's a diving stop by Pena. She touches 3rd for the first out. The MAAC Defensive Player of the Year comes up huge.
You don't write that in your scorecard too often. The 5 unassisted. It's usually a 3 unassisted on the other corner.
I think I'll put a star on that one, too. What do you think?
All right. Sounds good to me.
And Julie Brzezinski out with the lineup card. So S.J. Mull, who's a slap hitter, we're going to have a pinch hitter here.
Emma Marchese, the sophomore double righty, plays some first at the designated player position some of the time as well, sending 5'8" from New Egypt, New Jersey.
Marchese has 2 hits this year in 22 at-bats. Again, stylistically getting away from Mull the slapper as she takes ball 1.
And I think that's smart to get away from the slap hitter, because you would have assumed that there would be 3 infielders on the left side. And with a runner at second being the force, anything hit towards the third base side, play probably goes to get the lead runner.
That's popped up. Guerrero. No, it's Fisher coming behind the bag to make the catch for out number 2.
I'm glad that Fisher caught that ball. I love fly ball communication. 6/4. The higher number always takes precedent, except for right and center field, where 8 goes over 9.
The center fielder is the boss. The shortstop is the infield boss.
Catcher over pitcher, corners over catcher, middle over corners.
And there's the end of Mike Duda's artwork. So Parravati homered in the first inning. She hasn't been retired yet today. She had a single in the 3rd. She walked and scored in the 5th.
I can't say it's my artwork, Mike. It's been engraved in my mind from playing for 14 years. Every coach says it to you. From Little League to high school to college to the pros. They all say fly ball communication. It's imperative.
You've learned your lessons well. That's helped you in the booth as well. As now it's a 1-1 count here to Parravati, who's just had such a solid career here for Fairfield. One of these Fairfield seniors, Stags with a 2nd place finish, a Fairfield program that contends year in and year out under Julie Brzezinski. Julie Brzezinski has won 2 MAAC championships at Fairfield. They came in a 3-year span, 2015 and 2017.
And the number 1 seed was sandwiched in between in 2016. Went to Marist.
Red Fox is winning that year right at Gartland Field. Count is now 3-1. Ava Armuth on deck. This game, really ever since the top of the 4th inning, it's not like you can really feel easy about anything here.
Not at all.
Trying to get out of a jam here. 3-1. That's lined into right field, down for a base hit. Koshakian scores. Bielski to 3rd. RBI single for Anna Parravati, and it's 10-6.
All of a sudden, Stags chipping away at the lead. No lead is safe for either Iona or Fairfield.
How about Parravati now, not retired in 4 at-bats?
3 for 3 with a walk. That's an efficient day at the office, including that 2-run homer that, regardless of who wins this game, is going to be clutch down the stretch when you look at the scoreboard.
Stags have scored in 3 consecutive innings, still down 4 here, but if Armuth can reach, the tying run will be at the plate. That's a ground ball right side. Fielded by Smith, has to race Armuth to the bag, and she beats her there for the 3rd out. The Stags get 1, and after 6, it is Iona 10, Fairfield 6, here at Gartland Field. And back at Gartland Field for the top of the 7th, Iona with the 10-6 lead over Fairfield. As for Iona, it will be Giovanna Donnarumma leading off the top of the 7th, followed by Hannah Worth and then Rachel Morales. And, well, what has Donnarumma done today? Walk, walk, walk.
Getting on base. And that's what Iona needs right now. Another base runner, put some more pressure on Fairfield, especially with the freshman pitcher, Mo Quinn, out there. The more pressure that you can put, the better situation you'll be in for the home 7th, which presumably will continue to be Melissa Gordon.
Delaney Moquin in the circle for Fairfield. It's a bunt. It's a foul bunt.
Good idea. Donnarumma has reached all 3 times, and she tries to squeeze one pass to make it 4.
You have to give Moquin credit, too. She walked into a very chaotic part of this game, and she's pitched 2 scoreless innings of relief. That's upstairs.
If my memory serves me right, she came in a bases loaded, no out jam and got out of it.
The runs that were charged, Weinberg was charged with 4. Shields charged with 6. Called strike 1 and 2. Moquin has not seen a ton of action, especially in MAAC play, but with Weinberg and Shields doing what they've done all year, you can certainly understand that. But when called upon here, she's given her team a chance to get back in this one. 1-2. Called strike 3. And Moquin has her first strikeout.
She has been fantastic so far today, coming in that pressure situation, and she's done her job holding Iona exactly where they were. And when you look at the other pitchers outside the 1-2 punch of Shields and Weinberg, it's Moquin all day. She's got the most experience this year out of the remaining pitching staff.
Hannah Worth, the hitter. Called strike. Mike, just to go to show you how crazy it can get in this championship, Fairfield during the regular season, most amount of runs that the Stags gave up to a MAAC opponent was 8.
Not anymore.
And here it is, Iona with 10, and a game where Weinberg had a no-hitter through 3, and the Gales struck for 7 in the 4th and 3 in the 6th. We have not seen a ton of zeros in any game today at Gartland Field on that scoreboard in right field. This game was rolling until it wasn't, which then leads to, well, let's see when this one gets wrapped up here. And then a 3-way match potentially coming up. Sacred Heart Marist Darkness. Here comes the 2-1 to Worth.
You know, Mike, you mentioned what we have not seen a lot, and that's, of course, zeros on the board. What we have seen a lot are Connecticut teams, and if this score stays the way it is and Iona wins, we'll have another battle of the 203. Quinnipiac will play Fairfield.
There's another part of this that I would just potentially giggle about is Hannah Worth, who, again, we've talked about. She has such a great eye at the plate, draws a walk, and they'll turn it over to the top, and Rachel Morales. One thing I don't know if you picked up on, Quinnipiac, the song that the Bobcats come out to with their starting lineup is Freebird.
Leonard Skinnard.
Do you know what Alyssa Weinberg's walkout song is?
I'm going to go with Freebird.
You are correct.
So you'll hear the same song twice is what you're saying.
Worth's going, throw down to second, and Worth beats it easily.
Delayed steal. I like that.
Hannah Worth got 20 bags last year. Now, this year, again, good on-base percentage. Batting average was down, so not on base quite as much, but clearly a threat to run every time she gets there. Let's take another look. And she was jogging until she wasn't, and then with her speed, she makes it easily.
Yeah, she caught Armuth sleeping, which, as a catcher, you have to be alert on every single pitch, even more so than the pitcher. Everyone says the pitcher is the position that gets the most action in a given game. It is not. It's easily the catcher. You got to be awake on every pitch at high alert.
1-1. That's lofted into left center field. Over goes McGonigal. She dives. She makes the catch. Quinn McGonigal. Hang a star on that one.
Oh, what a play. Diving effort. That might have saved a run, too. Shading over to left. Calls off Mole. Says, no, that's my ball out there. And again, we talked about it earlier.
8.
She's the queen of the field. 8. Her ball.
Here's Olivia Lichner, and she was the one that belted the grand slam in the 4th inning. First pitch is fouled straight back. McGonigal in last year's championship against Ryder made a tremendous catch at Gartland Field as well. That one, she was playing left field, and it was a ball she was coming in on.
And if I'm not mistaken, that was the Anna Marie Grosskreutz no-no.
It certainly was.
We were on the call for that.
Certainly was, yeah. William Rosen, you had the sidelines. You got.
Yep.
It was a tremendous day. First no-hitter in a MAAC championship since Fairfield won the championship on a no-hitter in 2017. Count is now 1-1 to Lichner, who's had a terrific year. And Olivia Lichner, great year on the field. She is also a leader in the Iona community as well. She is the president of Iona Student Athlete Advisory Committee. She was a secretary in that group last year. And she has also done outstanding work in the classroom throughout her career at Iona.
That's a model student athlete.
Absolutely. In every way, shape, or form. It's great to have her seeing an outstanding senior year this year, her and her classmates, as the Gales making a run in this championship. Here's the 2-1. That's skied, but backward. William Rosen, actually, no, that was JJ. JJ was trying to make a play on that one.
Member of our crew on the call and almost someone in the field.
Well, after this half inning, JJ's going to have to get ready to get the microphone ready to do the post-game interview.
Maybe you should bring a glove out.
2-2 by Lichner. Ground is short. Gutierrez fields, fires. Strong throw gets Lichner for the final out. Last chance for Fairfield coming up. We go to the bottom of the 7th with Iona holding a 10-6 lead. To the bottom of the 7th we go. Iona and Fairfield here in the MAAC championship at Gartland Field, where there have been lots of runs to be had over the course of the last 3 games. Melissa Gordon, who came in the 4th inning of this one, trying to close it out. Do the Stags have one last rally in them? Fairfield has scored in 4 different innings today. No more than 2, though. They'll need to score 4 to keep this one going and 5 to win it.
And Mike, you see what's behind us. The bracket. We'll see. Will Iona punch another sticker on there with 2 wins today? Or can the Stags make a comeback in the home 7th?
We mentioned the top of the 7th. Again, tip our cap to Moquin. 3 scoreless innings of relief in a game that Iona just struck suddenly and furiously. Moquin's giving her team a chance here. It's Sammy Doherty leading off the bottom of the 7th. She skies that one deep to right, but Morales is there for out number 1.
Mike, you mentioned earlier the way the wind is blowing. Any ball to left field might have that extra giddy up, that extra carry to get out. That ball hit to right. You wonder if you just really simply flip the field or you flip the wind if that one had a chance to go, which would have been pivotal for Fairfield to cut this deficit to 3, but instead they only have 2 more outs to work with.
Here's Gutierrez. She had an RBI ground out her last time up, 0 for 3 in this one. Driven to left, but well foul.
And out there you see Marist again, seeing more pool noodles than last time. So what did you say the theme was? Surfing?
Scuba.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, last year it was the Wigs. I was told by reliable sources that they were going to do something like this, and again, they've delivered.
A good journalist never reveals his sources. I won't ask.
Well, you're a good journalist too, you know.
Well, thank
you understand the craft. Count 1 and 2 now to Gutierrez with McGonigal on deck. So Couple of power threats here for Fairfield. Here's the 1-2. Misses away.
Well, regardless of I'm a good journalist or not, I filled in once for Mike Schiavone, the center field beat writer, right here. And Joe Osanio got his 499th career win. And, of course, in Game 2, I jinxed it. He did not get the 500th that day.
But he did the next day. Gutierrez to center. Worth there. 2 away.
And Fairfield down to their last out. But, Mike, based on this game, who would you want at the plate besides the 3-hitter in Paravetri? I think you want either McGonigal or Silvestri, who both had homers of their own. Look back to the 4th inning. McGonigal had a blast. Back-to-back here would have the deficit.
And she's done on both ends. The spectacular catch in the top of the 7th as well. Can she keep this one going? And Gordon misses away on the first offering. Melissa Gordon, 3 1/3 innings of relief, has allowed just 1 earned run in this one. Hoppy, the starter, went 3 1/3. Count even at 1-1. So if the Gales can lock this one up here, Gordon in line to get the win.
Would be her 14th. 14th of the year. She entered play with the 4th most wins in the conference.
And the lowest ERA. Count now 2-1.
Yeah, she's been uber impressive as a freshman. All MAAC second team. Could have even made the argument she could have made the first. And, of course, MAAC all-rookie team as well. Left-hander has had a splendid season.
Called strike. And now the Stags down to their final strike.
Got to be in protect mode here if you're McGonigal. Iona bench getting loud. They're ready to paste another sticker.
Gordon's 2-2. Grounded to third. Fielded by Pena. The Gales are on to the winner's bracket final with a 10-6 victory over Fairfield.
And what a comeback win for Iona. They only needed 2 innings of offense to do it, but they piled on. A 7-run 4th inning aids them to victory. And of course, what bat was most imperative to that inning? Olivia Lichner with a grand slam.
And spoiler alert, that's who J.J. Garcia will be talking to after the handshake line. Lichner along with Coach Russo. A 10-6 final as Iona takes this one. J.J. Garcia getting ready to position himself here. As you take a look at the bracket, our next game is Sacred Heart and Marist. And now Fairfield will play an elimination game against Quinnipiac.
Still TBD on that time because of all the rainouts. And then here's the next part of the bracket. So as Mike mentioned earlier, Iona already clinched their bid to the winner's bracket final. They'll take on the winner of the next game, and then you got to work your way up from the loser's bracket to get to that championship game.
That Game 7 winner, as Mike said, onto the championship game as the handshake line is concluding. Gales huddling, Olivia Lichner coming over, and we will throw it now to J.J. Garcia with our post-game interviews. J.J., take it away. Iona with 7 runs in the 4th inning and 5 in the 3rd. Or excuse me, 3 in the 5th as the Gales, what a great job, what a great victory for Iona today.
Yeah, and Andy Russo on the sidelines there after getting back-to-back wins today. A fantastic head coach. It's only his second season, not even really his second season. He was an interim at LIU last year, took them to the NEC championship, and now is 2 wins away from claiming the MAAC.
For Mike Duda, I'm Mike Ferrara. We're going to have a bracket board with another sticker slapped on by Olivia Lichner. Final score here, Iona 10, Fairfield 6. For Mike, I'm Mike. Thanks for joining us as Game 5 of the MAAC Softball Championship, Game 4 of the MAAC Softball Championship is complete. And we'll be back here at Gartland Field so long with this one going final.